Hey there, boys and girls of the YouTube world. We're back. So is the Rambler Rebel SST. Super slow transportation, supersonic transportation, super slippery transmission. We got the Rebel. It's back. We're gonna do brakes and exhaust and hopefully donuts. So there was enough demand on the last video that, yeah, I mean, I was going to do it anyway, but figured we'd shoot another video. Slam a battery in this thing. Try to get this thing out of the way. Try this out here. Still haven't figured out the front tires. Literally haven't done anything other than I got an exhaust appointment lined up with Boom Tube Brian. He found the factory bend cards for dual exhaust for this thing. And got new brakes. So I got hoses, wheel cylinders, and a master cylinder. I got a carb kit. We don't know if that carb's bad yet though. So a couple things we learned. Somebody mentioned you could just figure out what bolt pattern this is, or diameter. Bolt pattern. Idiot. Dumbass. Just measure this diameter and get your local glass house or whatever hardware store to cut you out a circle of mirror in there. I asked what to do with the roof, and overwhelmingly a lot of people said do a bed liner on the top. And I don't know what to think about that. I see what you're saying, it kind of has the vinyl look, but I've seen too many spray-in bed liners look absolutely terrible, or the guys who do the roll-in ones. So I don't know. And then if that's screwed up, how are we gonna get it off there? It's gonna be terrible. So I think what we're gonna do is just take what's left off of here and just stew on it for a while. I don't have a sweet weed eater like Puddin does to remove what's left of my vinyl top. But we'll figure something out. Kind of like it the way it is. Some guys are saying gold or red, or, you know, I don't really like the red wheels, but a lot of people said stay with red, or gold's okay, or even some black. I don't know. Definitely got to get rid of those chrome ones. Nobody was a fan of those. Yeah, other than that, yeah, Dana 20 rear, or whatever you want to call it, 20 rear. It's got 2-piece axles. I guess they got like a 8.7-inch ring gear, so not so bad, but the axle tubes are tiny. It's got that, what is it, an M18 transmission, which is no bueno, and it sounds like the later 727s won't bolt up. So this car does have a drive shaft. 66s had torque tubes. It's got electric wipers, which is pretty rare. A lot of them were vacuum yet. The cruise is pretty rare. I think somebody put down below, it's like 1,686 of these things were made in 1967, so pretty rare car. Doesn't mean it's desirable or awesome, but I think it's cool, and most of you guys did. And a bunch of people were like, yeah, it looks like a Roadrunner, Chevelle, Fairlane, whatever. But maybe a 67 Fairlane. But all the guys who said Mopar, like the B bodies, this came out before those, so think about that. Your Mopar was designed after a Rambler. I think another guy who's he's got a 67 four-door. He's got a door handle. He's thinking about sending us. That'd be cool. We still got to figure out inside door handles. But one guy commented that you can slip the chrome trim off around the armrests, take the screws out, get those off, and then we'll get those door handles off and see if we can find a GM or Ford replacement, something like that. If we got to weld something up, we'll figure something out, because the locking pliers just is not cutting it. I guess these seats were supposed to recline all the way back. The seat trim breaks on all of them, and it's unobtainium. This was kind of their bucket seat option. Don't take the gas pedal off, because apparently they like to break, and nobody makes those. Windshields, I think, are the same. I guess Matador spindles and disc brakes all the way up to 74.5 will bolt right on for a disc brake conversion, but we're not going to do that, because I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a Matador, much less where one is in the weeds that we could get disc brakes off of. Oh yeah, windshield. I think somebody said you can buy them. One guy said they're unobtainium, but I've never had a problem with glass. I bet we can get glass. We don't need no stinking glass. Enough yapping. I'm gonna slam a battery in, somehow get this thing out of the way, and get this thing back in the shop. Well, what are the odds this thing fires up? Oh my God, it's sticky hot. Hey, brakes working better than they did before. Just kidding. Equally bad. Here we go. Oh. We got you on camera right now. Every day is a Saturday for pudding.
I know, and it has me messed up.
So we finally got the Rambler in here. Oh yeah, by the way, SST. A lot of guys say that it stands for like supersonic transportation and there's something else, but I think if you really dig into it, it really doesn't stand for anything. They just kind of put it on there if you really dig into the history. I kind of looked into it a little bit. And some of the diehard AMC guys will tell you that as well. But you guys can argue about it on the interwebs. Oh, and by the way, I know the difference between a Vega and a Nova on that Pontiac Aster. I just had a brain fart. Got my 4-letter words mixed up, so stop yelling at me in the comments. Duff, what are you doing down there? Since you went and got fluffed, you're cleaning up your manhood, huh? All right. We got a whole bunch of Rock Auto stuff. Oh, that's all for another project. Can't talk about that, but we got our master cylinder, brake hoses. We got a carb kit. I don't know if we're gonna get to that. That carb seems fine. We got spark plugs, oil filter, cap, rotor, points. Did we not order wires? Idiot. Maybe they're still coming. I'll have to look at the list. Oh, gotta put up our new magnet. Kind of running out of space here. How many Rock Auto magnets do you guys have? We're gonna need a bigger beer fridge. Just got our master cylinder out. Just wanted to see how everything looked. Oh, I did order a master cylinder switch as well. Looks like everything's the same. That's that clip I was talking about, how once we push this in there, she's pretty much retained, so we'll have to cut that clip off of this one. We'll slide those off, slide that boot off, put our new boot. Switch the threads in there, good. Yeah, I like that we got the bail clip now. Hey, look, they spelled brake on brake fluid right, unlike in Chelsea, the old 59 Plymouth wagon. So we got our Napa master cylinder in place. Check this out. This is some quality stuff. Brake fluid. Except for its lunch break, instead of, oh crap, I want to stop before I go over this embankment break. Quality with a K right there. But yeah, so I think what we'll do, get that tight and get that swapped over. I probably should bench bleed it, but I never do because I'm an idiot. Maybe we will this time. It might be something good to show folks how to do because nobody ever showed me how. Let's get some brakes on this son of a biscuit. What are you doing, eating leaves? Yeah. Duff's so pretty. Just wants to go outside and roll in something, don't you? All right, let's get this thing whammied together. Should hang on to that rubber boot. It's in good shape yet. Maybe hang on to that clip, just in case I need one. Washer, and that clip, scrapola. So we should just be able to push this thing in there, and she should stay. Right? There, she clicked. Now we slide our rubber up. You always want to have your rubber on the whole way on the shaft.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Well, son of a biscuit. Go over it. I'm used to putting these on in the dark. There we go. Yeah, just about. All right, all right, all right.
All right, all right, all right.
By golly. There's your tech tip of the day. You can just use a 1-inch 12-point socket. Speaking of that, we should use a socket, not this wrench. It's gonna take forever. Let's see what we can find to bench bleed this thing. So basically, this kit came with a master cylinder I bought one time. A lot of them used to. Now I haven't got one for a long time. Anyway, you just got 2 barbed plastic adapters threaded in the master cylinder. Hook these hoses to it, and you got this handy dandy clip. Submerge those below the fluid. Mount this thing in your bench vise, and then fill it with fluid past where the hoses go, and then just push on this thing until air quits coming out of there. So pretty straightforward, but we'll throw it in the vise and do it. About 90% of the time I get away without ever having to do this, and when I don't, or when I get caught and don't do this and I have issues, this is usually what gets me, so it can be a real pain if you don't. So we'll do it quick, and then we'll just slip the lid back on and bolt it up so we don't spill fluid all over. So we got it all clamped and burned the vise here. My 1963 Wilton bullet vise. They don't make them like they used to. I'm going to fill that up past, just a little bit past where that hose is dipping in. Silly camera, you're in the way. Oh, of course we had to spill, because anytime there's a chance of spillage, we're going to spill. Now I'm just going to push on this rod back here. Until we quit seeing bubbles. I don't know who sent all these blue shop rags, but somebody sent like 6 cases of these things. So, unannounced. Didn't know who to thank, but thanks for the blue shop rags. I think we're good on the front one. Back one still got a little air. So I think we pretty much got all our air out. I should go probably put the lid on, but what fun would that be? I'm going to go try to slip it on the car without spilling everywhere. I'll let you know how that goes. Just going to leave those 2 bolts loose, and I'm going to go inside and hook that rod up so we got a little bit of play with the pedal. Because there's no adjustment on these ones. So hopefully that goes well, because I really like hanging upside down in the dark with my face in a really smelly rug. Here we go. Here's that bolt that goes in that rod. It's not just a regular 3/8 bolt. It's a 3/8 bolt that's fine thread. It's also got a shoulder here. And then you got to put these nylon bushings in there so it don't squeak or rattle, or what you call it. Shoulder bolt. Always use a shoulder bolt. Here, have a floppy pedal. Nobody wants a floppy pedal. That's not going so well in there, so we're going to put the cap on it. Take the hardware loose again. Or off. We got to slide it ahead because the rod won't clear the steering column. Well, the bolt to go through the rod. You guys just try not to leak everywhere. That'd be great. Our rubber came off. Better fix that. Oh. Oh. Son of a biscuit. Stay. Really struggling here. Oh man, that sucked. Okay, laying upside down and getting that bolt in with the master cylinder hanging in there. Because the push rod kind of lines up with the steering column, so you got to have the push rod all the way out to get the bolt started, and then slip it past the steering column and then into the pedal linkage, and that sucked. But it's in there. We got her tightened up. Still got to hook up our lines, but I think I'm going to wait to do that till after we got everything else hooked up, so that way hopefully this thing stays bled, and then, you know, if we hook those other lines up, that fluid might run down before I get wheel cylinders and hoses and everything replaced. Yeah, that was not fun. You were so much help underneath there. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but ouch, that's my head on the steering wheel. There's that bolt we had to put in. You can see it gets real close to the steering column here. See that? That's a brake light switch. So I don't know if they got redundant switches, or one was for the cruise control and one was for the lights, or if one was for like a light on the dash if your fluid is low or if you had brake issues. I don't know. AMC guys, let me know why there's two switches. Check out this Cyclops light. This thing's got a good frickin' magnet on it. Watch Wes work. He mentioned these. First time I used it. Oh, it's even got a battery life indicator on there. Real nice. Except for, the thing about magnets is they stick to something and you forget them under the hood or under the dash, whatever. You're really liking this thing. That's okay. I'm kind of partial to it too. I suppose let's jack her up, start doing wheel cylinders and hoses. Hopefully we got the right stuff, because like I said, these things could have came with 9-inch or 10-inch drum brakes and discs, but obviously this doesn't have discs. Should have found a Matador donor car. I guess the last guy didn't put the cotter key in. Some of the stuff you find. But we didn't buy wheel seals, so we can only do the outside. Dang it. Oh man. Shoes are looking pretty thin, so we'll get some wheel cylinders and shoes coming for the next one. Let's rip this thing apart. Yeah, I know. You want some attention. A lot of people are scared of drum brakes, but really if you got the right tools, basically it's just this pliers and a little screwdriver to take these clips off. They're pretty easy. They're simple. Yeah, there's a few more moving parts in there, but it's really not that hard. And they're basically free to fix, you know. Spend $150 on brakes as opposed to a couple $1,000 if you do it front and rear. Nothing wrong with a well-adjusted set of brakes that are drums with good newish parts in there. Pop those two springs off, slide that shoe out. There's this adjuster cable here that runs over and hooks to this spring, and that's what, when you back up and hit the brakes, hits your adjuster. That thing is holding us up. We gotta get this off so that get this other shoe back. There we go. Now we're going to get some coil, put on these brake lines, and make sure that they aren't spinning with the nut, because you do that, then you got to start putting brake lines on. We don't want to have to do that, do we, Duffers? No brake lines today. So you get our coil on there. We get our line wrench. Hold the other end of the 5/8 box. Open end, I guess. Oh, see it? How it wants to twist? So just work her back and forth. And make sure that that nut is spinning on the tube line. We're gonna give her some heat. New plan. Get this retaining clip out of here, maybe. Nope. Okay, maybe not. Now, hopefully our brake hoses, new ones are the right ones. I got a feeling that's hot. Well, not bad. Still gotta get that loose, but I'll work with it a little easier out here. Go out. Maybe we'll just let her soak. Address that later, because I'm sick of it. So now there'll be some hardware on the back of this wheel cylinder and that hose that we got to take off that we just cut. And we should be able to slide this wheel cylinder right out. There you have it. How bad do these look inside? Gotta keep these plungers. Plungers? I don't know, pins, push rods. Oh yeah. I don't think that wheel cylinder is going to be very happy, even if we did put a new master on it. A little bit Hoover schneef going on in there. Not the good kind. Hopefully our new one's the same thing. Not the Hoover schneef part, but same bolt pattern. Same size and orientation for the brake line. Brake hose, you know what I mean. What do we got? Parts man, pick out the right stuff. It appears so. Oh, at least this came with the copper washer, because the rubber hose didn't. So now reverse order. Slide this in. Put our bolts in. Oh, is that one bigger? Oh no, they're the same. Wagner, Lockheed. Everybody's talking about how AMC uses everybody's parts. Well, didn't like Wagner do everybody's brakes? I don't know. Motorola alternator. I'm guessing several manufacturers use them. Whatever, they were just saving money. Take our new washer, put it on our new brake hose. Now I don't suppose our line just happened to heal itself while we're doing that in 10 minutes. Probably not. Of course not. I'm giving up on that thing. Let's finish putting this together. The push rods in. We can slide our shoes back in place. And we just gotta fish this. Oops. Adjustment cable over the pivot pin. I'm gonna wipe the crap back out here before we put it back together, or forget, but you can see how thin that material is on the shoes. We should get some new shoes. They're pretty worn down. And then yeah, we should get a new wheel seal, pack them bearings. We should lube up that adjuster too, because I'm guessing we're gonna need to adjust them when we get the new shoes. So there you have it, pretty much how to throw a wheel cylinder in on drum brakes. Like I said, you get the right tools for these springs instead of using locking pliers and busting up your knuckles. Way good. Maybe if you guys are interested, we'll do like a complete overhaul, you know, where you do all new springs, new shoes. Always put your long shoe on the back, short shoe on the front, so on and so forth. Actually, these drums, they got a little bit of pitting, but I think a few times hitting the brakes, that'll clean up. So it'll be good to clean them up with these shoes before we put new ones in there. They seem like some really tiny wheel bearings, but what do I know? I'm sure they're sized just right. What are you doing, Duff? You in bed for the night? Oh, you want me to pet you with my greasy hands? Just a good boy. All right. Oh, another thing is, I usually like to take one side apart at a time. So that way, if you forget how something goes, you can go look at the other side. It's just kind of backwards, but, right? Tech tip of the day. Duff, take care of that line. Forget who it was. I think it was Keith Benoit sent this Kano X-Rust, rust removing concentrate, from the same guys that make Croyle. I took that line off. I think you're supposed to mix this 3 parts to 1, but we're just going fast acting. We ain't got time for this, do we, Duff? I don't know what it's gonna do. Leave her sitting there for a while. See what happens. If it's half as good as the Croyle stuff, should be good to go. I know, I could have just as well made one of these from scratch by now, but I just hate frickin' making brake lines, even though I do get a really fancy, cool tool for doing it. All right. I think we can figure out how to put this side back together. I'm gonna go to the other side. Or did you get that side done already? You're just one pooped pup today. Spa day is rough. Breaking news! Got this side wrapped up. And Duff's got the zoomies. Let's go to the other side. Go to the other side. There's no room in here to run around. Oh, that wasn't a very good zoomy session. Say hi to the people on YouTube. Oh, that's what you think of them? All right. Well, let's go to the other side. Oh yeah, and while I had this side apart, I went and grabbed a cotter pin out of my collection. And I took a note to get brake shoes and wheel seals so we can pull this thing apart again. And I'm guessing the springs and probably the adjuster, for sure the springs are like 20 bucks, so we'll probably just get a new set of those too while we're at it. And then they'll just sit in a box on the shelf like all these other boxes of stuff. Let me know if you want to see how to convert a 5-wire 4.3 GM distributor to a single wire HEI. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's a flux capacitor. It should work for sure. Okay, back to work. Well, we got this passenger side wrapped up. Certain aspects went better, others not so good. as you can see, I had to get the old puller out to get the hub off because it's hung up on the shoes and I couldn't get in there to adjust the screws on that adjuster wheel I showed you on the other side. So I just kind of pulled it off. Didn't hurt the shoes any. Brake line come right off, so that's good. The other side's still soaking, and there was a cotter key on this side, so that's good. When I pulled the hub off, the wheel seal and the inner bearing stayed on the spindle, so the wheel seal is kind of, it's on its way out. It's probably going to spin in the hub. Hopefully we don't ruin the hub. But yeah, this brake drum actually looked better than the other one. I thought the other one looked bad. Did her, Duff? Duff snuck in there to help a few times. I'm sure you guys saw. Got his nose right up in there. Apparently I was doing something wrong. He didn't say what it was, but put his nose on it. So yeah, this side's wrapped up. Front's pretty much wrapped up, other than we got to get that other line freed up so we can put that on there. Let me go to the back. Hopefully we don't have to take those spindle nuts, or those axle nuts, big pressed on axle. Gall bangets on there. I feel like hopefully the brake drums will just slide right over the studs, right? What do you think? We're gonna punch out for tonight. Had enough fun here. It's sticky in here, and it's past our bedtime. So the Rebel is gonna have to wait for another day. Rebel without a cause. The Rambler. All right. Before we punch out for the night, that little sludge come off in there. Let's see how the Kano X-Rust works, or doesn't. We can leave it sit overnight too. We ain't in no rush. I mean, we're already gonna lose the shop, so still nothing. I did clean this up with a wire wheel, so don't think that that stuff got it that clean. I think this stuff's flammable. Corrosive, causes eye, skin, and digestive tract burns. Don't drink it or get it in your eyes or breathe it. Doesn't say anything about flammability. Well, she's gonna stay dipped overnight. So far not sold on that stuff. Well, it's the next morning. Looks like there's some rust in there. Is she gonna turn? No. We just might have to build a new one. Dang it. Oh well. Guess we'll get to show you the brake flaring tool. We got the brakes back together, and after sitting in this thing for like 3 days, look at that. We got that fitting loose. Didn't even have to heat it. So I guess the Kano rust, whatever it's called, by Croyle, actually works. Just took a little bit longer than I was hoping. So we got to stick that on there yet. And we still got to do rear brakes. But while we're waiting, I did some digging, a little scrounging. I think I found some, oh, that isn't the right wheel. Son of a biscuit. I think we found one Ford wheel. Mopar, AMC, whatever. I bet this is 5-on-5. Dang it! Need to look for another wheel. So I was just gonna cut the valve stem off of it, and then we'll Scotch-Brite her up a bit. Maybe blow it off first, and then we're gonna rattle can it. And I'm not a fan of red, but I have this Krylon, and both of these are International Red. Look how much different they are. But this one looks like it matches better than that one, but we'll see, provided it looks like it's supposed to. Shoot! I'm gonna go look for another rim. Dang it. Need more Ford rims around. Just kidding, I don't need any more junk around. Well, we'll do some more hunting with Duff, I guess. What do you think? Should we go hunt up some wheels? Yeah. So here's the second wheel. This one's off of a Dodge Dakota, so it's a little bit different. Maybe like a 1/4 inch less width, and maybe a little different offset. And I don't know. The other one's a Ford wheel. It's stamped Ford. This one doesn't have any stamping on it, but we're gonna let them dry. Go mow the grass, get some fresh air, see how they match up. Want some tires? Slam them on. I know I should have sandblasted them and stuff, but we ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And I don't know if I'm gonna like them red. Duff says we're not gonna like them red, so we weren't gonna spend the money to get them sandblasted and powder coated or good paint. So we just whammied that stuff on there. You heard fresh air and mowing the grass. That's why it rained here, so now it's growing. Maybe that's why the crickets showed up too. So we're gonna go jump on the mower. Let that one dry. Other one's sitting on the tire machine, waiting to get a valve stem stuck in and some new tires on it. White letters in, right? Don't be a Gomer. Put your white letters in. What rhymes with in? I don't know. I got nothing. Okay, let's do this. All right, got the rear in the air, and we got 3 little bolts that I think are holding the drum on. Ooh, it come out. Don't strip out. Yeah, I know, I don't strip it out. We're gonna need both hands. Well, we got all 3 out. There's not 5. Now I guess we smack it with a hammer. Usually they're stuck right on this ring that they seat on. So we're gonna give that a little heat. Old Watch West work. I saw him use one of these. Kind of looks like a planishing die. It's got a little bit of a crown to it, but it's not your regular bit where it's gonna cut or dig into your drum. And Watch West work, he works on some of the rustiest stuff. I think he's in northern Illinois. I do not envy the rusty trash that guy has to work on. He does have a really nice shop. But I saw him do this on a brake drum, so I ordered this thing. First time I used it, you see it ain't even scarred up yet. It ain't quite the right one, but let's see what works. Still nothing. That son of a biscuit doesn't want to move. Well, this is not going well. And those shoes are shot. Just need a little heat. All right, same things we've been doing. Springs and brake line. They look the same. Close enough. So that pretty much wraps it up. We'll just need to bleed them. Take a look at these shoes. Don't breathe that in. It's probably got asbestos in it. That's this front shoe is that's about all that's left for material. There's a little down here, but she's shot. I think we caught her just in time though. The drum is hardly even grooved. And this back one's quite a bit better, but still not good at all. So we're gonna get some of those coming. Be good for power braking though. Well, unless these grab. Hopefully they don't grab. And when I was spinning this thing around, tapping on it from the backside, both tires are spinning the same direction, so she's a limited slip, posi traction, sure grip. I don't know, what did AMC call their limited slip differential? I'll have to look into it. Now I suppose we got to put this back on so that those two holes, I'm going to put those two. Maybe let's snug that up a bit so it slides on better. So I'm gonna screw this adjuster in a little bit so that we got some more clearance, so that our brake drum will slide on better. And to do that, there's a little star wheel here. You can see that this lever pushes that star wheel down. So we're gonna pry that lever out. Dang it, that's still hot. And we're gonna turn that star wheel. Provided it ain't stuck. Oh boy. There we go. Oh man, our adjuster came off. Back on it. There we go. Now let's slide on. A little croil on that shoulder. Now we just gotta put our screws in. I don't even think these things are necessary because with the wheel on, there's really nowhere for the drum to go, but we'll keep it all factory just in case it ends up at Barrett Jackson and some six-figure number gets thrown out for it. All right, same thing, other side. Oh yeah, we gotta do a brake hose. That'll be easy enough. Famous last words. There you have it. Got all the rear brakes put together. We just need to bleed them now. I was crawling underneath there putting that new hose on. I did notice the bottom of this car is amazing. Like, ton of undercoating and literally zero rot whatsoever. I guess they acid dip these things. They were the first company to do that. I think that's what they said, but I mean, it's a testament to some of the stuff that AMC did. Some guys don't like AMCs, but I tell you what, they did some pretty crazy stuff. I think 62 was the first year of the dual reservoir master cylinder, and everybody else came out when it was like mandatory in 67, so pretty neat stuff. Not to mention the reclining seats. We haven't tested that out yet. We'll have to check it out. You didn't want your daughter going for a date if the guy showed up with a Rambler, allegedly. Cool beans. Yeah, other than being stuck on the drum, or the drum being stuck on that hub, not too bad. And the fact that the shoes are hoisted. All right, now the fun part. We're making progress, ain't we, Duff? Yeah, brakes are boring. Tried this Mighty Vac that C. Boston from Loveland, Colorado sent me, and I just couldn't get it to seal on the bleeder to pull a vacuum through there. So we took our syringe and I pushed fluid from the back wheels up to the master cylinder, got those bled out. But the spindle upright is right in line with the bleeder on this up front. I was able to get our Canadian dry bottle on there and hook onto the bleeder screw, and then I pumped them up from the inside till we got the bubbles out. Worked really good on that wheel. This wheel I was just getting leaks. So what I ended up doing on that one was tightening the bleeder screw back up. I'd pump it up, and then I'd put my brake, well, I call it a brake prop rod, but it's a hood prop rod. It's adjustable. These things are handy when you're working by yourself and your coworker has got no thumbs and he just likes to supervise. So I'd push that brake pedal down, wedge that in there, go crack it. And now I got the brakes held using that. It's good for park brakes, right? Never even thought of that, Duff. Freaking brilliant.
Brilliant!
So Duff thinks we got brakes now. So I got that brake applied. Look at this. Good to go. And then, well, I tried gravity bleeding them, so I pretty much did the whole tune-up with the bleeders open, and I got nothing. And these plugs that were in it were like brand new. We got some Delcos in there now, I think. Yeah, Delcos. So maybe we'll save those. Maybe not. But Rock Auto only sent 7. So I opened a case with them. They're going to send me another one. I forgot to get wires, and I forgot to get a condenser. But I got the new points in, cap, rotors all in. Plugs are in, gapped. What else? Oh yeah, changed the oil on it. Got rid of the old coast to coast. Put a Wix on there. I even threw a, what is this? 11 fluid ounces of zinc treatment. I figured I don't have another AMC engine around, so let's not wipe out the cam on this one. Cheap insurance. I like putting a bottle of that in these old engines. Gapped the plugs to 35. Gapped the points to, I think we went to like 19 thou. We might actually, if we get this running and we get time, we'll use the dwell meter and set dwell. Basically, it's a fancy way of setting the gap. Never done it before, but somebody sent me a dwell meter, and I got another dwell meter that I've had forever, never used, so maybe we'll get that. If we don't do it, you guys comment down below that you want to see me set dwell on something. We got to mount some wheels now. Want some tires? Want some tires on wheels. And then the list is getting pretty short. Then we're ready to go for exhaust, provided this thing still runs. Still got a carb kit sitting here. I don't know if we'll get to that. I really hate putting carb kits in. And if I don't need it, run it. So I'm gonna go mount up some tires. Duff's gonna keep that seat warm. So clearly these were the used plugs and the new ones were in the engine. Well, yeah, because these are power tip. Who makes power tip? Oh, auto lights. Never heard of a power tip. I'm gonna take the park brake off. Got it. Yeah, get yourself one of these hood prop rods. They're handy for working by yourself. Whoop. So here we got our 235/60/15 Cooper Cobras. You can see there's the Ford wheel that uses like a 10-inch hubcap. That's got like an 8-inch. It looks like the offset's a little bit different. I do kind of like the look of that wheel a little bit better, but I didn't balance them because it's going to irritate me that they don't match. So until I get two that match, we're not going to balance them. But we're going to whammy those on there. I think we're ready to set her on the ground. Go for a rip. Wah, wah, wah. Got too much offset on this wheel, and she hits the struts. Dang it. Look at this. Another stupid red rim laying around. Come on, Ford wheel. Don't fail us. Well, the center of the hub is too small on a Ford, so it doesn't clear. We just cannot win. What do you guys think about the Street Machine Skyjacker height? Yeah, me neither. So that wheel sits in too far, so it hits the, not the strut tower, but the spring, whatever, uprights. And this one, the center hole is too small, so it won't ride on the hub. So we're gonna have to keep looking for some wheels. Great. Just what I want to do. More paint and stuff. So looks like the chrome ones are going back on her for now. Fun times. Freaking Ramblers. On the chrome reverse, I don't know, that's what you call them. I don't know if these are actually reversed or not, but chrome wheels because the red wheel debacle. So here I'll show you. See how that center hub right there? There's a gap. They should be a hub-centric wheel, so it should ride on that hub, but instead it's riding on the lug. So always, if you can, get your wheel hub to match up with your axle hub or whatever, spindle hub. Same deal on the front here. They're just a little bit too big so that your hub's taking that load and it's not all riding on your studs. Sometimes things like to work loose and it doesn't end so well.
Yeah, pull it off. Damn.
Anyway, I hit the pedal. Still feels like we got brakes. Let's see if this thing starts. Take her out and get some exhaust, maybe, Duff? Wanna go for a ride? Yeah? Oh, he's down. Totally down. Let's see if she starts first. Oh, for sure it'll start. Hopefully we get oil pressure. It's trying, huh? What's that? Did we forget to tighten a spark plug? It sure sounds like one was going. Did you forget to tighten a spark plug? Guess we'll take a look. You gonna open it? So which one is loose? Hey, crank it over so I can listen where that hissing's coming from. The old Cyclops here. See if we can wiggle any of them. Those all seem tight. I guess I'm gonna go over these with a socket because it seems like it's trying to push air out. Nothing super suspicious over there. Maybe a little bit loose, but not enough that I think I would be losing compression. Now let's see if we can figure out where the compression leakage is coming from. Yep. Try it again. Again. Okay. All right. Maybe this time it'll go, Duff. Lots of gas. Oh yeah! Go for a ride? Who loves rides? Oh man, a gas pedal come off. I'm guessing that's the unobtainium rubber steel clip that everybody talks about. Whoopsies! Oh man, that rod is way up there too. Fuel gauge ain't working. We got the Rebel here at Boom Tube Brian's. He's rich, so he's got a lift and an exhaust bender and all kinds of fancy stuff. There's our missing gas tank strap. That cute little Dana 20 with new brakes. We did notice the breather tube needs to be replaced because it's MIA, but that's pretty common. Cute little shocks, but the bottom side of this thing is super solid. Must be a drain tube for the rear window. And it is, I think, what do they call it? Twin traction or twin lock or sure grip. I don't know what it is. Somebody commented what it is, but I can't remember. But the floors are perfect. There's still a lot of undercoating under there, other than this one little spot on the driver's side. And maybe a little there. Tranny pan's seeping. Found that the backup light connector was unhooked. He's got the old exhaust off. Gonna put some new studs in there. New donuts. This side's a little bit harder to get at because of the starter. Don't wreck that starter. He's probably got a new one on hand for it. Looks pretty good. Sway bar. And I'm guessing all these hail dents here, that's why that strap broke, so we'll have to make up one of those. Tank's a little whiskeyed up there. This side's better, but got one. And I'm guessing this is a drain for the trunk. And we're not going with wimpy singles this time, we're going with some true duals. So she's really gonna rip. But yeah, I just wanted to come out and show you guys the bottom of this thing. It's way good. There's the clean outs for the rockers. The rockers are all galvanized. Inner rockers are solid. This thing is freaking way good. Way good. Unlike this crappy country music that Brian's listening to here. Yep, could probably use a tranny pan. I'm guessing that bolt might have something to do with it. Oh, and the dipstick goes into the pan. Gross. I think what's that, a Gwinner M18? Oh, it's got an aluminum bell on it. Interesting. Well, we'll let him get back to work. Ooh, don't breathe on that freeze plug. Wish I had a lift. We need a lift sponsor. And then someone to raise the roof on my garage too. All right, back to working on fun stuff. Old boom tube does this thing. Well, Mr. Fantastic's got the tailpipe crookeder than hell on this side, but he says he's gonna fix it. She's looking pretty good. Got both downpipes done, studs replaced. So you get your downpipe, you get this intermediate pipe, offset inlet, and then a straight outlet on the mufflers. I'm an old man, so they're great big, quiet ones. And they're cheap too, right? No comment. But yeah, he said he had to take a little bit of angle out of this one to get her parallel with the frame rail, but looks pretty good. I'm gonna go to town, have a couple beers, and he'll wrap her up. Put in some overtime. Here's what's left of the exhaust. Wooden lift kit. Oh yeah, those tucked right up there. Baloney cut them if you really wanted to have that neat look. Look at that. Were those holes threaded?
I had to tap them on the side.
Jeez, could have cut a nice radius on those, you know, plates to make her look nice and factory.
Another hour.
Yeah, well, at $8 an hour, I mean, come on. A to B, we gotta make sure that this guy knows how to put mufflers on. Put the clamps up so they don't dig into your melon when you're crawling it up. Nope, these ones aren't upside down, never mind.
All the rest are.
Nice. Not bad for a $200 exhaust job. That's what happens when you pay cash. You get the big discounts.
60 years ago, probably.
Oh yeah. Good enough for the girls I go with. How's it sound? You ain't even fired it yet.
Nope.
A little bit better than what we had. Pretty quiet. Can't hardly hear it.
Yeah, you can hear the fan better.
Want to take bets on how many times I kill it? Would you say it took you 4 to get it in?
Yeah, 4 times to get her in.
I don't know, if I were keeping it, I think I'd slash, maybe shorten them up a little bit and then slash them off. That's the nice part about leaving them long.
Yeah, and I always try and leave them longer than what they tell you to cut them off by the card.
Yeah, yeah, those would tuck up there good. Well, we got the supersonic transportation back in the shop here. Mounted up some 14s on the stock wheels that I painted red. But I ran out of that red, so they're a shade different. It's still International Red, it's just a different Town and Country brand. Yeah, she looks pretty good. Thought I had some new 14s around. Turns out they were 15s, so I had to find some scabby 14s to throw back on there. But they're still better than what was on it. Threw that one spark plug that Rock Auto forgot to send me in there, and we got all new plug wires. So maybe that'll clean it up a bit, but that carburetor definitely needs to be opened up. That fuel filter ain't all full of crud. The fuel is a little tinted, but not bad. Yeah, she looks pretty good with the red wheels. I do like that little bit darker shade than that bright red. I should paint the hubs and put some new lug nuts on there too. It's the little things. You do a lot of necking in a Rambler, so I just had to check to see if they actually did that. I think. Well, it's dark out now, and guess what? On the toe, about 1.5 miles of gravel, I managed to put that rock through that headlight. How not neat is that?
How not neat is that?
So, we're not gonna drive her yet tonight. So time to indulge in some sandwiches. Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna take her for a spin. See how she whips donuts with that posi. Also, my give-a was a lot less on those wheels than that wheels, and the paint job isn't as good. And then mounting those crusty old tires, I got some dirt that stuck to the paint that was still wet. I hate rattle can paint. Everybody's like, oh, it sprays so good. No, it never does spray good for me, and it gets runs. And it never frickin' dries. Never. Pretty sure those things are 4 days old and they're still wet. But we got them on there. Duff, what are you doing? Where you been? Oh, you heard we were going for a ride? Wow, it's getting kind of dark, but tomorrow, we're finally gonna do it. Rebel donuts. Give me a rebel yell. No? All right. Hopefully that seat goes back up. I'm sure it will. That's cool, they at least recline. That's one thing I hate about like the Camaro buckets and the Galaxy buckets and stuff like that in the 60s. They didn't recline, so they were a real pain. And I think the tracks are rusty. I couldn't get this seat to slide back, so she's a little tight for these long legs. But Duff said his side's just right. Oh man, that seat looked pretty good on that side, and just from the little bit that Duff's getting in and out, she's turning to dust. She's seen a lot of sun. We ride at dawn, Duff. All right, sandwich time. What do we got today? Stones. Let's do an old style. Again, shout out to the guy in Johnson Creek, Wisconsin that sent these out. Much appreciated. Pretty delicious. Kind of tastes like a PBR. Well, we're back. It's bright and early the next day. Duff says it's time to take her for a rip. Yeah? Wanna go for a ride? All right, guess we're going for a ride. Here we go. Could use power steering. It'll be fine once we get moving. Definitely needs a carb kit. For sure. Son of a biscuit. That's forward, we want reverse. We're almost out. We made it. I held good on my promise. Oh, watch out for the trash cans. I got this seat rest back too far. Oh, now it really went along. Uh-oh. How do you... No. Guess that's where it's gonna be. Strong little M11 transmission. Pretty smooth though, steering's off. Mufflers are quiet. We better adjust our one remaining mirror. Oh, it's so weird having something with exhaust on. You can't even tell if it's running. Speedo works. Brakes are... they're there. It needs shoes for sure. Uh-oh. Started back up. Now let's see if it shifts. I don't know if we've done... we had to do a morning drive before. We were going right into the sun. Should have cleaned the windshield. That's your job, Duffers. Oh, registration fell off from around the steering column. Spring must have broke. Beans are coming off, Duff. Both sides of the road. She must have some tall legs, because she's hauling in first. There's second. Didn't quite shift to third yet. Maybe. 45 mile an hour? Definitely needs alignment. Well, seems like it wants to pull to the left. Maybe that's just because the wheel's off to the left. Gotta fix the horn too. Cigarette lighter work?
What do you say? Is it the new Bluesmobile or what?
Fix the cigarette lighter.
Radio? Oh dear. Definitely don't want to stop in a hurry. Yeah, I see the deer. Radio works, and we have an antenna. No stations. One speaker. It's weird, the selector knob's on the left and the tone knob's on the right. Usually aren't they? Volume, selector, they call it tone. Oh, those brakes are weak. Well, you know what time it is, don't you? Oh yeah! Twin traction! Hang on, Duff! Oh! AMC, baby! What went flying over on your side? I don't know. This thing, I think it could compete with the 442 for donuts. Damn! This thing's tight! You just sit in one spot like a monster truck! Woo! The old twin track in the back. Now it's chugging. Why? Every time we do donuts, does our garbage start chugging? Probably because all the trash in the tank gets mixed up and getting picked up. There it is. Now it's dying. Oh no. Come on. Come back to life. There we go. Heart's racing. Nothing like whipping donuts in a car that's what, 54 years old? It ain't run in 40 years? Gets your heart racing. Don't it, Duff? This thing's good. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Man, talk about the best time of year. It's like a little bit cool in the morning, moderate during the day, cool again at night. It's not super cold, it's not super hot. Best time of the year. Late summer, early fall. Yeah. Great weather, great car, great dog, right, Duffers? Yeah. Two-wheel donuts. Two-wheel. We should see if we'll do a burnout. You guys think it'll do a burnout? A brake stand action? Got a little wobble. Can't imagine that's from the tires we dug out of the trash to put on here. Or the fact that they're not balanced. Oh, there it died again. Wub, 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 wub of that wheel. I don't think she's gonna go this time. She coasts real good though. Oh, she did go! What do you think, Duff? AMC's good, huh? Well, see you later.
Big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
Gonna go look for rabbits under all those pickups over there. Man, there isn't a single car over there. We need to get some more cars in the inventory. Well, what do you guys think? Is the Rebel Rouser gonna do a burnout? We're gonna find out. Duff, you wanna do a burnout? Oh yeah. We didn't even kill it. Napa Todd. That's how you do a burnout. We got a little rubber there. Needed some more wheel speed though, didn't we, Duff? I think it's got some pretty tall gears in it. She didn't want to wind up. Guessing it's like a 270, 290 range. Maybe she's a 300. Get a little lope to her. I like the way the exhaust come out. Maybe shorten it up a little bit and what do you want to call it? Slash cut, baloney cut? Is that what the motorcycle guys call it? But a little quiet. That's kind of what we like on our old age. Quiet exhaust. Well, there you have it. We got a 1967 Rambler Rebel SST back on the road. I don't know if I stated this, but I think there was just under 1,700 of these built in 1967. You either get them with a 290 or a 243. A lot of guys are saying 390, but in the digging that I did, it looks like you could only get them with the 343 is the biggest engine. Could get them with a 4-speed, again, Gwinner. This one's got the M11 Gwinner automatic. Dana 20 rear end. This is the first year of the drive shaft in these. They had a torque tube from 66 on down. Dual reservoir master cylinder, 62 was the first year of that for AMCs, so kind of cutting edge stuff for those guys. It's got bucket seats, cruise command, 10-inch drum brakes all the way around. And it's got the twin locker in. Am I saying that right? I can't remember what the names of options. Too many cars to remember. Don't yell at me, I'm not an AMC expert, but I do like AMCs now after having one. So there you have it. Appreciate it for watching up to this point. Check out my other videos if you haven't. Check out the first video on this thing, what this thing looked like when we got out of the weeds. This is a really good car, especially for me. So fortunately, I got somebody coming to look at it. So, and they're coming from a long ways away, so I feel like he's not going to go home empty because there's not much for disappointments on this car. Plus, there's an hour-and-a-half video on the thing already, so kind of know what they're getting into. As always, thank you very much for watching. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't. Subscribe, turn on the bell, notifications, all that stuff. I know I haven't said that in a while, but can't thank you guys enough. Remember, it doesn't matter how you get it done, as long as you're having fun. Little burnouts are always fun. Well, this side didn't leave quite as much. Oh, there's the rubber pile up there. Oh man, those scallops are the coolest. We got our new red wheels all dusty. This thing whips donuts like mad. Watch that seat. See how that one's like almost straight up and down? That's too much, and this is too much back. There needs to be a notch in between, but there isn't. In case you guys wonder what I take with for tools, the locking pliers, I forgot about it. That was on the door handle, and then I took a screwdriver to tune the idle up. Oh, and we took the hot sauce with, just in case it didn't want to prime itself. But there you go. Duff! What do you think? Should we go for another rip in the old Rebel? Do some Rebel rousing? Or chase some birds? Okay, you go do your bird thing. Duff! What kind of tire shenanigans are we up to today? You gonna piss on his tires? Well, there goes the Rambler. Sad day going down the road. Going to Colorado. There she goes. We're not a rambling man anymore, are we? Kind of sad to see that one go. But oh well, on to the next one. Love when people come over to borrow your tire machine and then they just leak fuel all over your driveway. Old Mickelson Racing, he needs to learn how to do some mechanicking. Hey, what's the weather like today? Can I get a weather report?
Sweaty.
Sweaty. It is pretty warm out. Unseasonably. Speaking of unseasonably, that's not unseasonably, but got some Rambus guys, T-Rex pizza, lunchtime. And we got some Wibby. Good stuff. We're not really beer snobs, but that stuff's good. That nice gentleman brought her from Colorado. Thanks, Mikey. Lunchtime. Let's do this.